One testing is in the books. It's a more testing or mind games. Plus, NASCAR, the next gen cars coming out. Why is NASCAR still considering the placement of the numbers for next year? All that and more right here on Grid Tonight. Hello and welcome to Grid Tonight, your weekly motorsports news program. I'm Joe Samriego, and with me, Kobe Lambeth from the Podium Finish. We encourage our viewers to share their questions and comments in the chat room. We'll report on the debate about the number placement in NASCAR and more news. We'll start with Formula One testing. Who's bluffing, sandbagging, and not showing their whole hand?
That's right. Formula One testing is similar to a chess or poker game on the track. This is the first opportunity for everyone to check out all the cars on the track without strategically staged launches that hide defined details from their competitors. This happens often, but the fastest driver in testing doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be the favorite to win the world championship. Last year, Valtteri Bottas and Max Verstappen went 1-2 in testing with Sir Lewis Hamilton in fifth. Still, many anticipated Hamilton to be the favorite for the championship. This year, many are talking about Red Bull being number one, had really great time in preseason testing. And also people are discussing all the issues that plague Mercedes. What is the likelihood that Mercedes did not show their full potential in testing?
When it comes to showing their full potential, I got an idea that they are sandbagging. It seems like time and time again, we talk about how Mercedes isn't exactly the fastest, or they are the fastest. It's not that big of a gap. Looks like Red Bull had closed in the gap. One of the big things, though, was with Mercedes having that gearbox issue, losing track time. I don't think that was a bluff. I would think that is something that we've seen in the past where Mercedes, I believe it was a year ago or 2 years ago, had a power unit issue, missed some track time, but he came back strong. So even though they had some issues, we saw the car spin out with Lewis Hamilton, one time getting stuck in the gravel pit. We saw the missed time because of the gearbox. When it comes to the top speed, I do believe Mercedes is hiding it because it seems like this is a pattern where they seem to hide a little bit extra and surprise everybody at their first race.
Yeah, I bet when the lights go out and away we go, Mercedes is going to be 1-2. They're going to be the team to beat once again. And definitely I believe that Red Bull is going to be one of their biggest competitors. And another team that really surprised me in testing was McLaren. And as you know, they switched to the Mercedes power unit this year from Renault. And overall, testing went really smooth for McLaren, and it looked like they could be a true third place team behind Mercedes and Red Bull. Many wondered before testing if the power unit switch would equate to changes in the chassis and compromise their performance and everything that they gained last season. And after looking at testing, do you think McLaren silenced all of their doubters?
Yes, they put in a lot of laps, got a lot of miles in. Daniel Ricciardo looked very solid in that car. No issues. I do feel they are becoming more and more of that third place team. Red Bull, Mercedes, easily they're going to be the top two. But I see McLaren, they have potential to be on the podium, especially if we see Bottas or maybe Perez not exactly having a good race. That McLaren looked really good during testing.
Yeah, and with McLaren, this might shock some people, maybe not, but one of my bold hot takes entering the 2021 Formula season is that McLaren is going to return to the top step of the podium and they're going to win at least one race this year. I don't know which one they're going to win, but especially looking at last year, did anybody expect Pierre Gasly AlphaTauri to win a race? Did anybody expect Sergio Perez to win what is now the Aston Martin Racing F1 team, then they're a Racing Point? Nobody expected to see Pierre Gasly or Sergio Perez win. So why can't McLaren win? Why can't we see Lando Norris or Daniel Ricciardo on the top step of the podium in 2021? It's definitely going to be fun watching them race this season. In the competitive midfield, saw a lot of teams logging a lot of laps. Alpine, AlphaTauri, Aston Martin Racing F1, and Ferrari. And after such a disappointing 2020 campaign, Ferrari is trying to recover and return to being a part of Formula One's Big Three. So based on all of those teams, which team do you think made the most gains in testing?
When it comes to making the most gains, I believe Alpine made the most gains. Compared to where they were last year, we saw where McLaren and Racing Point were battling for third place. Now that Aston Martin is there with Vettel, I do think they made some gains, but not as much as Alpine potentially did. I could see Alpine potentially battling the Aston Martin to be that fourth place team. Fernando Alonso, the experience he brings, I would not be surprised if he gets at least one podium. I think the Alpine team will easily be a fourth place team, but Aston Martin will still be right behind him. That's going to be a really good battle between those two.
Yes, it'll definitely be a great battle. I'm sure with Fernando Alonso returning to Formula One, he's going to be really happy to be in a more competitive car. And who knows if we get a few crazy races like we got last year with the Bahrain Almost Oval and the Italian Grand Prix, maybe Fernando Alonso can finally return to victory lane in Formula One. It's been so many years since Fernando Alonso's won a Grand Prix, and I'm sure if he wins a race, you'll see a real celebration from the Spanish racing driver. And the Formula One season is right around the corner with the Bahrain Grand Prix happening on Sunday, March 28th. And now looking at a story that we're going to be following this weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the first time since 2007 at Nashville Super Speedway, Bill Lester is returning to the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. The three-time series pole winner will drive the number 17 Ford F-150 for David Gilliland Racing, and Bill Lester is 60 years old now and lives in Atlanta, Georgia. He has 142 truck starts, 7 top 10 finishes. After his full-time NASCAR career came to an end, he raced in the Grand Am Rolex Sports Car Series. In 2011, he won the GT class at Virginia International Raceway, co-driving with a young talent, you might know him, named Jordan Taylor, who's now a factory GM driver at Corvette Racing. And in the time between, Bill Lester released a book called Winning in Reverse, Defying the Odds and Achieving Dreams, where he highlights his battle against social norms and racism on his journey to making it in motorsports.
Shane Van Gisbergen injured himself earlier this month in a mountain bicycle accident. He suffered a broken collarbone and had surgery to have a metal plate placed in there. He skipped last weekend's race at Phillip Island to focus on recovering. Shane will decide on whether or not he will race once he gets practice time in the car. With the supercar point system, how does it affect Shane if he doesn't start the race?
Well, with Shane Van Gisbergen, I'm sure he's gonna try whatever he can to start the race, and if he's not able to race, then it's for the best. The last thing we want is for Shane Van Gisbergen to get out there and not be able to to perform. And then like if and we've seen like sometimes when like Mark Marquez, when he tried to come back, it seemed like he just made the injury worse, and that's something we don't want Shane to do. And luckily with all of the different races on a weekend in supercars, if Shane misses a race and he shows the form that we saw early, in the opening weekend, then I think Shane Van Gisbergen is going to be okay if he continues to perform consistently at a high level in the event that he can't race.
You bring up some good points, especially last thing we will want is to see something where, similar to Mark Marquez, he gets re-injured. Of course, with the point system, one of the big things that I feel could be an advantage as well. When Shane swept last race weekend for the supercars, 150 points each race. Now, thankfully, it's only 100 points each race because there's 3 races, 300 points max. This was just one race where all 300 points were on the line. That's going to, I think, weigh a lot more on whether or not Shane Van Gisbergen would race. Thankfully, with the smaller points, if there's a very inconsistent weekend and he doesn't participate in the race, he'll still lose points, but won't be as significant compared to it was just one race for the entire weekend. Now, of course, with the safety improvement, Shane Van Gisbergen doesn't make a whole lot of movement in the vehicle compared to Mark Marquez, as you brought up. He is well secured in that seat. However, the G-forces from racing will be a big challenge for him. Along with his recovery, he's been doing hyperbaric therapy, which speeds up the healing process. The Supercar Series race this weekend. Adam will be on our show Saturday to preview the race on Grid Live pre-race. We do want to report on some sad news that came out today. Fabienne Schmidt passed away. She is known as the Nürburgring Queen. She had a long battle with cancer. In 2020, she revealed that she was battling cancer since 2017. However, that never seemed to deter the positive attitude she was known for. Tribute is poured in across all of social media, including the past and current Top Gear cast members, where she made her first appearance in 2004. Schmidt grew up in her parents' hotel near the Nürburgring track. She became the first woman to win the Nürburgring 24-hour race in 1996. Sunday's showing of Top Gear is going to be dedicated to her. Our condolences to her and her family. Monday, Adam Stern from the Sports Business Journal revealed that NASCAR is still considering the relocation for the numbers in the NASCAR's Cup Series next-gen car. The primary reason is the quarter panel on the new car is smaller, less space for sponsors. However, again, this has opened up the debate on the number placement. This is a unique debate to NASCAR. As for most of NASCAR's history, the driver has a heavy association with the car number. When asked about what number are associated with the 3 7-time Cup Series champions, fans will not only recognize the 3, 43, and 48, but longtime fans will describe the style of each number. That becomes a different question if asking supercar fans about their driver's number. Just recently, Formula One and IndyCar abandoned the numbers assigned based on prior year's point standing. Formula One, the number is assigned to the driver currently. Compared to NASCAR, a number is leased to the team. This is why some numbers, like Jack Roush, number 6, have a long history of different drivers, and makes the debate around NASCAR's decision more contested. NASCAR and teams would agree more sponsorship space is a win-win for both. However, not taking away the identity, especially in the era of changing paint schemes, is crucial. If the numbers were to become less significant, do fans lose a connecting value to that driver? Just take Nigel Mansell. A lot of fans recognize him by that red number 5. Very rare when it comes to Formula One. If the numbers were to become less significant, do we see Nigel Mansell still be known for that red 5? The value carries around even away from the track. I think it's safe to say we've all seen a street number associated with a race car number, particularly in NASCAR. However, mostly that cannot be said the same about Formula One, IndyCar, unless you're a die-hard fan of those series. So what are the options ahead? Keep the number in the current space, but know there's less room for sponsorship revenue? Relocate and significantly move the number to open up space for the door sponsorship? Or relocate and reduce the number to a much smaller presence, possibly making it less noticed. Motorsports is expensive and very dependent on sponsorship revenue to keep going. However, if the fans lose a connecting value, that may be less engaged to the sport. How easy would it be to tell fans you're a Chase Elliott fan if you don't know what's his car number? Comment with what you believe the numbers should go and how NASCAR should balance between number placement and sponsorship.
Hi everyone, Matt White here from the Grid World Motorsport League, bringing you our weekly update on scoring in the 2021 Grid World Motorsport League. No changes this week to the top 10. Here it is on screen as it was last week. Only Xfinity and Cup in action this past weekend, scoring races for us. Austin Cindric, the Xfinity winner, getting his second win of the season. He stays just outside the top 10. He's up into 12, so he's moved up one place with that victory. And Martin Truex Jr., the Cup winner, and I got the pick a winner point for that, so pretty happy with that to take the lead in that category. But Truex 35th in the Grid World Motorsport League so far for 2021 with his first win of the season. He picked up our Performer of the Weekend award on Tuesday for that one. Normally we have our race rewind on a Wednesday, but we've foregone it this week because we've had a special announcement which has gone up on Twitter this afternoon, and that is that the DTM, which we had with its big rule change this year going to GT3, decided to move away from scoring in the WML for this year, but it's back. We've decided that GT3 single car racing is something that we need to include, so, and with a massive amount of big teams coming into this championship for its first year and its new guys, we thought we'd bring it back. Their first races are at Monza in Italy, but not till the summer. Obviously a lot of backloaded calendars this year with the COVID crisis still going on. British Touring Cars and British Superbike have pushed their calendars back as well this week. So expect a lot of changes later on in the year with some big stuff coming. This weekend though, we've got a lot of good stuff coming, and that will affect the WML Top 10. Supercars, of course, one of the headliners of the weekend. Their second round at Sandown. Shane Van Gisbergen 2 from 2 at Bathurst, so he would go straight into the top 10. that with his double victory. Let's see how he gets on this weekend. 3 races for them, so they will immediately go into the scoring on Saturday, and we might be able to bring you an updated score from the Supercars squad on our show, on the pre-race show on Saturday. We've got Sebring 12 Hours, of course, as well. IMSA's third scoring WML race, so they'll go in as well. And it's Trucks, Xfinity and Cup at Atlanta. So lots of changes could happen in the top 10 this weekend. Keep your eyes peeled to grid_WML on Twitter on Monday for the updated top 10. We'll be back next week to give you another update.
This past Monday as well, Corvette Racing confirmed its participation in the 6 Hours of Spa on May 1st. The 6-hour race is the new season opening race for the 2021 World Endurance Championship, replacing Portimao. Portimao has been pushed back to June 13th, the old 24 Hours of Le Mans date. Corvette was on the entry list for the 8 Hours of Portimao, the original season opening race. This will be one car driven by Oliver Gavitt and Antonio Garcia. The race will be Corvette Racing's team's first race at Spa-Francorchamps, the site of the Formula One Grand Prix of Belgium. Corvette does plan to continue racing GTE and explore expansion into GT3 and select World Endurance Championship events. Corvette will be at the 12 Hours of Sebring this weekend, and we encourage you to tune in to our Sebring pre-race show, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, hosted by Kobe Lambeth, myself, and sports car racer Aaron Vogel joining us to share her racing experience. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to not miss this exciting program Saturday morning.
Yes, we're definitely looking forward to the Mobile One 12 Hours of Sebring. And I mentioned him earlier in the program, Marc Marquez. On Friday, he was given the green light by doctors to ride once again. The 6-time MotoGP champion has been sidelined since the Jerez season opener last year after sustaining a broken arm when he fell off his bike chasing down the leaders. While he's been given the green light to advance his workout and training to prepare for his MotoGP return, still, a future decision on when he'll actually compete in a race will be determined by Marc Marquez himself and all of his trusted doctors. Joe, we've seen Marc Marquez try to return from injury before, and we all know how it ended last time. Do you think history will repeat itself, or you think it'll be safe for him to potentially return as soon as the Qatar Grand Prix?
I do see it being safe to return. This time I do feel if Marc Marquez truly feels he's not ready, he's not going to push it. That's what happened. We saw the last time, and then all the complications that occurred afterwards. Considering everything he's been through, I do think he got the green light. He's doing the training. He's getting prepared. I see if he does get on that bike and start seeing, hey, this is too early for me. I do see him saying, not going to do that same thing again. I'm going to sit out and continue healing up.
Yeah, definitely. And the Qatar Grand Prix is going to take place on Sunday, March 28th, just like the Formula One Bahrain Grand Prix. So definitely you want to check out all the MotoGP action. And Saturday the 27th, March 27th, we'll have coverage on Grid Live pre-race. And I also want to remind you to be sure to visit Jessica at Paddock Insight for more coverage of MotoGP and Formula One in Spanish. The link is in the video description below. And a quick follow-up MotoGP. And Andrea Dovizioso will test with Aprilia. Dovi decided last season to take a sabbatical after parting ways with Ducati. The 3-time runner-up in MotoGP will participate in Jerez with Aprilia, and Aprilia shocked many with its fast testing pace. Now it's time for some quick takes.
Starting off with Stuart Friesen, he is making his NASCAR Cup Series debut at the Bristol Dirt Race. The press release yesterday stated Friesen will be in the number 77 Spire Motorsport Chevrolet. Hamilcar International will be the primary sponsor of the car driven by Friesen. Friesen has over 330 career dirt modified wins. Won the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series last race on dirt. That event was the 2019 race at Eldora. Kevin Bellecourt will be the crew chief for Friesen.
Brad Keselowski and Daniel Suarez will have substitute crew chiefs this weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Both of their crew chiefs were suspended and fined after loose lug nuts at Phoenix. Grant Hutchins will be the crew chief for Brad Keselowski, also an engineer at Team Penske. Jose Blasco of Mexico City will be Daniel Suarez's crew chief. Significantly, both the driver and crew chief were born in Mexico. This will be the first Mexican Cup driver crew chief pairing in NASCAR history, so definitely a really big deal. Velasco was a crew chief in the NASCAR Mexico Series for 8 years.
Kyle Larson will be racing the NASCAR Truck Series race at the Bristol Dirt Track. Larson will be driving for Nice Motorsports number 44 Chevrolet. He raced dirt last year while suspended from NASCAR. He is part of a growing list of Cup Series drivers doing some dirt racing before the Cup Series race at Bristol, joining Chase Briscoe, Ryan Newman, Kevin Harvick, and Martin Truex Jr., who have all announced they're going to be running dirt events prior to the Cup Series race.
Sports car racer Marcel Fassler announced his retirement earlier today. He enjoyed a successful career as a multi-time race winner in DTM. He also won the 24 Hours of Le Mans overall 3 times with Audi Sport Team Yost. He also won the 2012 FIA World Endurance LMP1 title. Later in his racing career, he found some success in America, winning the 2013 Mobil 1 12 Hours of Sebring overall with Audi Sport Team Yost. In 2016, he scored GTLM class victories in the Rolex 24 at Daytona and Sebring in the same year. Since that, he has served as an endurance driver for Corvette Racing, and definitely wishing Marcel Fassler a happy retirement.
Definitely wishing him a happy retirement. We encourage everyone to be sure and invest in the Grid Network. Join Colin in keeping us on the air. Visit our Patreon page, link in the video description. We got 2 different plans for you. Keep us on the air throughout the 2021 year. Very exciting year for us, as we're going to bring you coverage of all the motorsport series plus the World Motorsport League and Grid Ranking. And be sure to follow the Grid World Motorsport League on Twitter at grid_WML. Monday every week, the WML releases newest updated standard after a weekend of racing. And if you have a dog, be sure to get your furry friend goodies from Publis. 10% discount for all Grid Network viewers. Link in the video description. They have dog leashes, clothing, and accessories for dogs of all sizes, and 10% of your purchase goes towards helping homeless, sick, and rescue dog, a great cause that we all support. We too have a rescue dog here at the Grid Network headquarters. Thursday, Women are Racing to Win. Then Saturday, Grid Live pre-race, Supercar and NASCAR, 12 noon Eastern, and then our special IMSA pre-race at 9 a.m., 6 a.m. Pacific with Kobe, myself, and Aaron Vogel. Very excited to have her on the program. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Grid Network on YouTube, not miss any of our programs. For Joe Samaniego, for Kobe Lamas, I'm Joe Samaniego. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next time. Joe Samaniego here. Want to invite you to go check out Publis. Publis is a dog clothing and accessory company based in Austria. 10% of each of your purchases goes to helping dogs in need, whether it's homeless, sick, or ill dogs. This is one of the reasons why we support it. Kiska here is a rescue dog from rural Alaska and our Grid office dog. We care about our furry buddies, and we know you do as well. Definitely check out Publis.com. There's a link on the video description, and by clicking on that link, you get a 10% discount on your purchase as well.